Alright everyone, welcome back Disney fans. Part 2 of this Disney-cation, or Disney World-cation, whatever you call it. This time, we're going into the wild of Animal Kingdom. Which rides did I go on? Well, I first of all have to say this park was probably my favorite out of the whole bunch. Because first of all, yes, this is obviously where all real animals are. Yeah. Yeah, of course, unless you count the fish and all that stuff at, Epcot and so forth. But yeah, this park is all animals from different countries like Africa and Asia, and it's all the different themed areas, even though I find it funny how Epcot has Japan and China, and those are Asian countries. This park is mostly African and Asian themed, which I thought was really well done. The performers and everything are great, with the drums and the bands and all that stuff, and just, it's like, wow. Disney really goes the extra mile with this place, putting all these animals in there, and from what I've heard, they treat them great. It's not like, they put them in there just for recreational purpose and everything like that. They do treat their habitats in that park like it's their home, They do have a safari ride, which I do highly recommend. It's great. They have walking paths, I believe a few of them, one with like tigers and bats and all that stuff. They have another one with monkeys and even mole mice, I think they were called. I didn't do every single one, so keep that in mind, people, but it's a great place if you're really that kind of person that enjoys walking through zoos and going on safaris. They even have a train ride, which I unfortunately did not do. But the safari ride, Kilimanjaro Safari, is great. Highly recommend it. It's really a blast, and it's probably the only ride I've been on here that you can actually take your camera and take pictures, as long as it doesn't interfere with other guests' enjoyment. So, yeah. If you're courteous and kind to the animals, and they got giraffes, they got so many cool stuff on this ride, it's definitely a must, and it could get a little bumpy, so that's about it right there, but it's great. It's about a 30-minute ride, but it's well worth it. So my final verdict is a Rocket League Motion Plus up and a Planeware mode up. It's a wild good time. So yeah, and now, Expedition Everest. This coaster was probably my favorite out of the whole bunch at Disney. The theming and everything is great. I mean, this ride is awesome. And I had to do this one, and I did it not once, but twice. Yes, you get a photo, there I am. It was really a good time. The theming to the queue line was awesome. I mean, it looks like almost like you're walking through, like you're about to venture into Mount Everest. And they even have a single rider line, and it could be a little bit shorter. Maybe take a little longer, but you miss out on all the cool scenery that the regular line has, like all the camping and hiking equipment, booths and tents and all that cool stuff that really, it's just, attention to detailing is really exquisite. And, well, the ride itself is a mine train coaster. It's basically, it starts out pretty mild and it's pretty smooth for the most part, and I really enjoyed it. And then, of course, when you get up the big mountain is where it really takes a turn for the real thrill. And it's really great. I mean, as I said, the theming's great. It's got a big waterfall on top. Obviously fake snow. First time I did it, of course, it was kind of raining outside, so I had to endure that. The second time, it was obviously nice and sunny out. And, wow, it's just great. I mean, the mine trains are really authentic looking. And, of course, you come across a, looks like broken track, and, as you guessed, it's a backwards and forwards coaster, almost like Revenge of the Mummy, but a little more wild. Yes, the backwards part can get you a little bit, but once you kind of expect it, you get used to it. And you go around, mostly turns and stuff, and there's one big drop. Well, after you come across what looks like, well, it's more or less a shadow of a Yeti breaking up the tracks, and it's really just a phenomenal ride. The drop does look big, but as I said, when you go to the top, you get a really nice view. Especially when you go to where the tracks are broken. Before you go backwards, you get a really great view of Epcot and Disney Boardwalk and so forth from there, even though it's a couple of miles away. Yeah, this is the only park, because I stayed at the Disney Boardwalk, as I mentioned in my last review. I had to take a bus here, so it's either you had a bus or drive. There's no boats from Disney Boardwalk to this park, unless you're staying at the Disney Animal Kingdom Lodge, I guess. I don't know, unless it's probably a walking distance, but yeah. You get a great view up there, and the drop is pretty decent size. That's where I think you get the photo, and it's a lot of twists and turns after that. You go through caves several times, and it's definitely a blast. So, yeah, it's a mountain of fun. My final verdict is Rocket League Motion Plus up and the Planeware mode up. It's pretty cool. So, alright, well, the next ride, and this is the newest addition to Animal Kingdom, Pandora, the World of Avatar. Wow, all I could say is this place is amazing. I mean, the design and everything, the attention to detailing, I don't know how they did it, but the floating islands, it's just incredible to look at. This is just amazing. I've seen the movie in theaters, not once, not twice, but 3 times. I've watched the extended edition on DVD, and I mean, I was really excited for this, and I could say it definitely lives up to the hype. Now the rides. Yes, these are new rides, so you have to expect the wait times to be very lengthy, especially Flight of Passage. But first, Na'vi River Journey. This is for the more laid-back type of riders. And it's pretty good. The scenery is, you know, nice. It's all glowing stuff in the dark. It's mostly physical objects, which is great. There's a few screen effects which can be a little bit distracting and kind of not fitting with the scenery and everything, but the overall practical effects they add into this ride are amazing. Yes, it doesn't exactly have much rhyme or reason to it, which I will agree with. You know, it's got a lot to do with Avatar. You see one of the characters, you know, 1 or 2 of them from the movie, the Na'vi to be exact, but yeah, there's not really much story to it. It's just for laid-back type of riders, and it's just for a show, and there's no drops on it or anything like that. So it's a slow-moving ride. If you like it, fine, but I would fast pass this one because it would not be worth waiting 100 minutes for. So this one's decent, but that's really about it. So just a plain 2 weird modes up on this one. It's okay. Alright, but if you want my opinion, if you want the real deal for the best Avatar attraction, definitely go for Avatar Flight of Passage. This is the one that gets the long wait times, and I've never seen it drop any less than 2-hour waits. I mean, seriously, this one is the one that everyone was talking about. In case you're wondering, yes, it is a simulator, and in case you're sick of simulators and you just want to, you know, jump on the bandwagon and say, hey, come on, why so many simulator rides? Why can't they do practical effects? I mean, first of all, how can you do all this kind of stuff with just, you know, with practical effects? There's really no other way you can do this without making a simulator. I mean, first of all, yes, the wait times are long, and I had to wait almost 2 hours for this one, even though it said 240 minutes. It went down a lot more, so it ended up being almost 2 hours. So the wait times may not be 100% accurate. And if you don't want to wait, just fast pass it if you got the chance. But be aware, the fast pass thing fills up really fast. So yeah, you start out in the cave and the scenery and everything, and as you move along, it gets to that point where all the stuff is glowing in the dark, and it's really nice. The queue line is just amazing. I mean, you can expect so much out of these queue lines at Disney parks. And then when you get inside, it's almost like in the movie, where you're inside the science lab, and, you know, with the Avatar thing in the tube, you know, before they took them out to the test. Yeah, the little rock thing that they were after, Obtainium, I believe it was called. It's really an amazing queue line. The pre-show's great. It tells you all the detailing and everything like that. So I'd say this one was definitely worth the wait. This one is like basically Animal Kingdom's version of Soaring. But it's different though. First of all, Soaring at Epcot, you did not have 3D glasses. This one gives you 3D glasses to have to wear. They're more like these big, thick goggles really than anything else. And it's also different because it doesn't lift you up. Instead, it puts you on these vehicle-like things, which your arms are like this, and they want to give you the feel like you're really riding on the Banshee like in the movie. This is basically Soaring on steroids. It's a lot more intense, there's a lot more jerky movements and everything like that, and your head's leaning forward like this. So, keep in mind, you may not be fit for this kind of ride, and yes, it can be a lot more nauseating than Soaring, so, but honestly, all I could say was it was breathtaking. The feel, the music, the sound effects, everything about it was just, you felt like you were in Pandora. You felt like you were flying. I mean, it was just breathtaking. It was just phenomenal. They did a great job with this attraction. It was well worth the wait. Some people may not agree with me on that one, but sorry, this was worth it. I had to do it at least once just to say I did it, and wow, I'm glad I did. The only sucky part about was when, well, I had to leave the ride when it was over. I wanted to keep going back on again and again, but, well, there was a lot of people waiting behind me. I mean, people are real troopers, they're real fans of this franchise, and they really wanted to see what it was like to be one of them, one of the Na'vi. So, yeah, all I could say was this one definitely fulfilled the hype. Definitely a rockin' 2-ear remote up with Wii Motion Pluses. Wow. It is just out of this world. So, yeah. The World of Pandora, great job, Animal Kingdom. The detailing on this, as I said, is great. There's even a restaurant, and yes, there's even a gift shop that you exit to with the, making your own self look like a Na'vi action figure, which I did not do. The Tree of Life design is really cool. All the stuff lights up at night. I even saw a little glimpse of the top of Expedition Everest as I was leaving at nighttime, because I left just a little after sundown, waiting for the bus to get back to my hotel. But yeah, everything in this park's really nice. And of course, 2 more attractions I almost forgot about to review. Kali River Rapids. It's a rapids ride, and I fast passed this one, thankfully, because the line got pretty long. And this is probably their only wet ride. And yeah, you get pretty soaked on this, especially if you're facing backwards. And actually, it was a little short. This, in case you're wondering, is all themed around India, because it's in the Asia section. And yes, there actually is one drop on this, which I didn't know about. And it's not anything too big, but it's pretty decent size, and it kind of locks you in, which I felt the boat in front of us was stuck for a minute, but no, it locks you in, and then it releases you down that small drop, and you get soaking wet. There's even those things which, like Universal's Popeye ride, where you squirt people from the bridge. Well, unlike Universal's, where you have to pay quarters to do that, this one, it costs nothing. So you can have a field day with squirting passengers when they go by on this ride off the bridge. And another one, the dinosaur, not the dinosaur based off the Disney film, but another one which is basically the Wild Mouse coaster called Primeval Whirl. This is basically a spinning Wild Mouse coaster. Not much to it. You don't start really spinning until the last half of the ride, and there's actually 2 of them, because I guess it makes the ride, the lines go a little quicker, and this one was pretty decent. So, Kali River Rapids, rocking Wii Motion Plus up, and a Plain Weird Mode up. It's pretty good. And the Dinosaur Primeval Whirl, just a plain 2 weird modes up. It's thrilling, but nothing really too special. So, yeah, as I said, I didn't do every single ride. I felt like I kind of missed out with the dinosaur based off the Disney film, which I heard is really good, but the wait times kind of got lengthy on that one. I'm not really surprised since I heard it was great. But that concludes my review for Disney's Animal Kingdom. Great place. It's a great trip into the wild. You'll have a great wild good time. They'll make an animal out of you. So, until next time, tune in for part 3, and we'll conclude this Disney adventure with Disney's Hollywood Studios, former MGM Studios. So, until next time, keep watching.